Hi everyone, Lauren here with Republican Atheist. Thank you so much for tuning in. I haven't put up a video for Republican Atheist for a while, so I notice it's now June 2018. We're already through the middle of the year, and so I said, okay, let's put up some updates for Republican Atheist so you guys can know what we've been involved with over the last few months if you haven't been following closely what we're doing. So let's get to it. Republican Atheist now has 12 correspondents representing 11 states. We actually have 2 correspondents at the moment for one state, North Carolina. So this is really exciting because this is one of my goals with Republican Atheist, is to start having representation throughout the United States. And right now everything is completely voluntary, so the people who have volunteered to be correspondents, they're able to get as involved as they want. And right now we're just keeping things low to see what opportunities come up and how correspondents can get involved. But I'm hoping over time that if correspondents want to maybe form groups in their state, they can do so, because we're constantly getting emails from people in all over the United States saying, do you guys know of any groups that meet in person? And so I'm hoping that as time goes on, maybe we can have some groups, or at least plug people into groups that do meet in person. And also, Republican Atheist sometimes gets requests, or I'm thinking we're going to get more requests as time goes on, requests to speak at public events or maybe in panel discussions. We actually had a request to be involved in a panel discussion in February 2018, and we were very fortunate in that situation because the panel discussion was taking place in Raleigh, North Carolina. And our board member, Bob Price, happened to live really close by, so he was able to actually participate in that discussion. But I know that as time goes on, we're going to have more requests, and so having correspondence in place is going to work out for that as time goes on. So that's all in experimental mode, but again, very exciting to think that Republican Atheist has even gotten to the position to have correspondence, because when I started Republican Atheist in February 2017, I didn't really know how this was all going to work out, where it was going to go, but I think this has been a really great experiment so far. Republican Atheist was recently published in a media outlet called worldreligionnews.com, and it was a fairly lengthy interview with me with one of the journalists from World Religion News. So this was really exciting for Republican Atheist because we try to get published whenever possible. Occasionally I send out emails to media outlets, to atheist organizations, to Republican or conservative or Republican outlets, whatever it is, and I'll request interviews, and sometimes we get some responses back that say, yeah, we're interested in interviewing you. And so again, we're always working towards getting interviewed and featured wherever possible so that we can get more listings on Google and on the web. And so this article was really great, and I actually mentioned other noted atheist conservatives because I was questioned in the interview, is there anyone else that you look up, that you admire, who's in the atheist conservative or atheist Republican community? And I mentioned Jillian Becker of the Atheist Conservative, the blog. Many of you may be aware of her. She's really impressive if you look her up on Wikipedia. I just am astounded by Jillian Becker's background, and I'm a bit disappointed that she's not featured so much. I personally came across Jillian Becker myself just by doing online searches, but I'd never heard of her from atheist organizations or anywhere else. So I was sure to mention her, and then I also mentioned Heather McDonald, who is the noted atheist conservative speaker and published author, who was also unfortunately shut down on college campuses in California. And so again, this was just a great interview. Really exciting, and we're always striving to get featured in different outlets. One final update I have is that Republican Atheist has launched a number of state-level Republican Atheist Facebook groups. So Republican Atheist is really active on Facebook, and I have been managing the general Republican Atheist Facebook page for a while now, which is just called Republican Atheist, and that's for anybody. But now I've actually started launching state-level Republican Atheist Facebook groups. And so we have one for California, Michigan, Illinois, and Florida. And as people message me and they say they want to get involved or want to, if maybe they want to be moderators of a group, of a state group, then we'll begin to open more groups. And I want to point out with these Facebook groups that these Facebook groups are not representing Republican Atheists as an organization. I know that there's some conflict there because people join the groups and they just, sometimes people assume that everyone is just in synchronicity and thinking alike or is going to cater to their ideals, and then it reflects onto the organization. But we do point out that the groups that we make, they're not representing Republican Atheists as an organization, but they're just serving as a place where people can come together and communicate, where atheist Republicans can meet. We have agnostics that come in, we have just general conservatives who come into the Facebook groups as well. And then we have discussions just to hear about what's going on. And I'm hoping that as these groups develop, we'll hear more about what's going on in each individual state, because that's something I'm trying to crack into, is to hear what are people's concerns in their states. Every state is dealing with its own dilemmas. We hear a lot about California, but what else is going on in other states? And so I'm hoping that with these Facebook pages that are at the state level, we'll be able to hear more input from people. That's all the main updates that I have right now for Republican Atheist. If you want to hear more updates from us, just join our mailing list. Go to republicanatheist.com and you can join our email list where I send out updates a few times a year, and you can hear what's the latest project we have working on. You can also follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram. Every follow or like helps our reputation quite a bit, so we really appreciate that. If you'd like to have any more information about what we're doing, about the correspondent positions or the Facebook groups, or maybe you have some ideas, you can email us at info@republicanatheist.com. And we also love to just hear general insight. Are there any challenges that you've been facing? Is there any... We actually get a lot of nice messages from time to time, Republican Atheists. We receive messages from people who say, thank you so much for starting this group. You know, they were feeling out of place in their local atheist group or in online atheist groups. And so it's nice to get those messages from time to time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great week and hope to hear from you online. Take care.